Judith Maria and welcome to SG Global News. From the 51-meter-long monumental statue of Our Lady of Fatima to be inaugurated in Brazil, to the employees of Philippine Senate who observe the stations of crows inside the Senate building, we have many stories to cover. Brazil is eagerly awaiting the unveiling of the towering 51-meter-long statue of Our Lady of Fatima, sculpted by renowned artist Ranelson Vienna. The statue will be revealed on May 13, 2025. Pilgrims and visitors are excited for the moment when they can witness the pious and loving gaze of Our Lady of Fatima, modeled after the original image. A monumental 51-meter-long statue of Our Lady of Fatima is set to be unveiled on March 13, 2025 in Barro Branco neighborhood of Caprio, Brazil. This towering new sculpture will replace the previous monument, which has been a beloved sight for pilgrims and visitors alike. Parts of the sculpture are being made separately and will be assembled together. The arrival of the first pieces in Caprio caused a great stir among the faithful, thanks to the meticulous detail of Our Lady of Fatima's features, which were modeled after the original image. The eyes in particular captivate attention with their brightness and the pious loving gaze of Our Lady. Designed by renowned artist Ranelson Vienna, the statue is being constructed by a specialized team and represents a significant spiritual and cultural milestone for the region. Vienna, known for his large-scale artworks, previously sculpted a 35-meter-long statue of Our Lady of Fatima in 2024. The site also featured a replica of the Chapel of Apparitions from Fatima, perfectly mirroring the original's dimensions. In a video shared by City of Caprio, Father Arulido Machado described the upcoming inauguration as a great moment and extended an invitation to all faithful and surrounding communities to join in the celebration. In an earlier interview with a Brazilian news outlet, Vienna shared that his dream is to create the world's largest sculpture in his hometown of Petrolina. He also expressed that it would be incredible to bring such a project to Caprio, adding that he wanted to give back to the city with a work of this significance, reflecting all that it has given him. A new study by the Bible Society reveals a surprising surge in church attendance across England and Wales, signaling what researchers are calling a quiet revival. The growth is driven largely by young adults, particularly men, with attendance among 18 to 24-year-olds quadrupling since 2018. The data also links regular church-going with better mental health, higher life satisfaction, and strong sense of community.
A recent study by the Bible Society, a UK-based non-profit, conducted over a 6-year period from 2018 to 2024 indicates a sharp increase in church attendance in England and Wales. According to the report titled The Quiet Revival, 12% of the population now attends church compared to 8% in 2018. Numerically, this translates to 5.8 million churchgoers in 2024, an increase of 56% from 2018 when there were approximately 3.7 million. The report draws on two datasets provided by YouGov based on large-scale, nationally representative surveys conducted in 2018 and 2024. These surveys measured attitudes towards the Bible and Christianity, as well as related religious behaviors among adults in England and Wales. The sample sizes were 19,101 adults in 2018 and 13,146 adults in 2024. With a 99% confidence level, the findings are considered highly reliable. The report claims that the church is currently experiencing a period of rapid growth, driven primarily by young adults, particularly young men. In 2024, 16% of adults aged 18 to 24 reported attending church, a significant increase from just 4% in 2018. Among them, a growing number prefer the Catholic Church, which has seen a 41% increase in young adult attendance. The data also suggests that young adults who regularly attend church report lower levels of anxiety and depression. Additionally, churchgoers are more likely than non-churchgoers to report higher life satisfaction and a stronger sense of connection to their community. The study challenges the commonly held belief that the UK is becoming increasingly secularized. Paul Williams, CEO of the Bible Society, argues that Western Europe, long seen as a stronghold of secularization, may also be on the verge of reversing this trend.
In broad daylight, a man vandalized the Bom Jesus das Oliveira parish in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Security camera footage shows that the man deliberately destroying the statues of Bom Jesus and Saint Hedwig by slamming them to the ground. Both statues were completely destroyed, leaving the faithful and the parish priest shaken by the incident. The parish priest later stated that the man vandalized the statues in frustration after being unable to speak with him. A man vandalized the Bom Jesus das Oliveira parish in Itam Paulista, Sao Paulo, Brazil, destroying the sacred statues of Bom Jesus and Saint Hedwig on April 6, 2025. Security footage shows the suspect entering the church between masses and walking over to a statue of the Bom Jesus, which was covered with a purple cloth. He deliberately knocked the statue down and slammed it to the ground. The suspect briefly stepped out of the church as a stunned worshipper went to inspect the damage. The man then re-entered the church, picked up the Bom Jesus statue and threw it to the ground. He proceeded to remove the cloth of the Saint Hedwig statue before slamming its head first onto the floor and leaving the church. The security footage clearly captures the act of vandalism, and the statues destroyed are now beyond repair. Earlier in 2022, a similar situation occurred in Brazil, where one or more unidentified individuals entered and desecrated a Catholic church, destroying 28 statues in São Mateus Church in southern Brazil. Father Ginaldo Lorindo, the parish priest, believes that the man targeted the images out of frustration after being unable to speak with him. Father Lorindo further states that, quote, "We deeply regret this and we ask for your prayer and at the same time for the understanding. I would even say that in the coming months, we will not have the two images back in their place," end quote. The suspect has not been identified yet, but the Sao Paulo civil are reviewing the video footage in an effort to track him down. Cardinal Nichols has urged Catholics to oppose the assisted suicide bill, calling on them to contact their MPs and voice their opposition. In a pastoral letter, the Cardinal emphasized that it is the fundamental responsibility of every MP to ensure that the legislation is not imposed on the society without thorough scrutiny. The bill's third reading is scheduled to take place primarily on April 25th. Cardinal Vincent Nichols has written a pastoral letter urging Catholics to contact their MPs to oppose the bill that seeks to legalize assisted suicide. In the letter, read in parishes over the weekend of 5th to 6th April, Cardinal Nichols insisted that the parliamentary vote in late April, which could determine whether the bill would progress further, was a crucial moment and expressed his dissatisfaction with the deeply flawed parliamentary process. The Cardinal emphasized that it was fundamental duty of every MP to ensure that legislation was not imposed on society that had not been properly scrutinized. He noted how complex the bill was published just days before MPs voted on it last November, giving them inadequate time to consult or reflect upon it. Ahead of the bill's third reading and vote, likely around 25th April, Cardinal Nichols pointed out that many vital questions remain unanswered. He stressed the need for a first-class compassionate palliative care at the end of people's life, but which was sadly in short supply and underfunded. Cardinal Nichols concluded his letter appealing to all Catholics to once again ask their MPs to vote against the assisted suicide bill. On November 29, 2024, 330 MPs voted in favor with 275 against the end-of-life bill prepared by Kim Leadbeater MP, which would enable terminally ill, mentally competent individuals with less than 6 months to live to choose physician-assisted death. Judge Frank Caprio, widely known as the nicest judge in the world, will deliver the 2025 commencement address at Providence College, his alma mater. The beloved former Providence Municipal Court judge gained national fame for his compassion in the courtroom, featured on the hit show Caught in Providence. Now retired and battling with pancreatic cancer, Caprio continues to inspire millions through his legacy of kindness, faith, and service.
Judge Frank Caprio, who is popularly known as the nicest judge in the world, will deliver this year's commencement address at Providence College, Rhode Island. The ceremony will take place on May 18th at 11 a.m. at the Amica Mutual Pavilion in downtown Providence. Judge and attorney Caprio became widely popular due to his extraordinary compassion toward those charged with traffic violations. He told CNA that he was excited and honored to give the commencement address at his alma mater. The now retired judge graduated with a bachelor's degree in 1958 from Providence College. Judge Caprio, a devout Catholic, served as a Providence Municipal Court judge for 38 years. His court proceedings were regularly aired across America through the Emmy-nominated show Caught in Providence. He has over 2.7 million followers on social media, and his videos have over 10 billion views globally. After his pancreatic cancer diagnosis, Judge Caprio published his memoir in February 2025. Judge Caprio was awarded an honorary doctorate of law by his two alma maters, Suffolk University School of Law and Providence College. Providence College is a private Roman Catholic university in Providence, Rhode Island, founded in 1917 by the Dominican Order and the Roman Catholic Diocese of Providence.
Amid growing concerns about immigration delays, the U.S. Catholic Church is sounding the alarm over a crisis that could upend spiritual life in communities across the country. A severe backlog in the visa process is jeopardizing the status of hundreds of foreign-born priests, nuns, and religious individuals who play a vital role in churches, schools, and hospitals nationwide. In response, lawmakers have introduced a new bipartisan legislation aimed at protecting these essential figures from forced departures and service disruptions. The United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, alongside several dioceses across the country, has raised urgent concerns regarding the critical immigration backlog that is impacting hundreds of foreign-born priests, nuns, and other religious workers serving in the U.S. In response, on April 8, 2025, Senators Susan Collins, Tim Kaine, and Jim Risch introduced the bipartisan bill titled Religious Workforce Protection Act. The recent changes made in the bill are extend the temporary non-migrant status for religious workers already in the U.S. until they receive a decision on their permanent residence application, allow religious workers who were forced to leave due to visa issues to re-enter the country, and grant the Secretary of Homeland Security the authority to implement these measures. Generally, the R1 visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows ministers and non-ministers in religious vocations and occupations to temporarily perform religious work in the United States, and the EB-4 visa is an employment-based fourth preference visa that can be used by special immigrants, including religious workers, to become permanent residents. This new bill proposes targeted immigration reform to resolve the EB-4 visa backlog, a problem that has jeopardized the ministry work of many religious workers. Religious workers in the U.S. face challenges due to visa backlogs, particularly those on temporary R1 status who may be forced to leave the country while awaiting permanent residency decisions. The backlog began in March 2023 when unaccompanied minors from Central America were added to the EB-4 visa category, which is capped at 10,000 annually. No additional visa quota was granted, creating long delays now stretching over 5 years that surpasses the legal R1 visa duration for religious workers. In a bold move, the Diocese of Paterson, New Jersey, along with 5 priests, have filed a lawsuit against the federal government. The case claims that priests are being forced to leave the U.S. due to expired visas, leaving parishes without spiritual leaders and communities in distress. Bishop Kevin Sweeney, Bishop of the Diocese of Paterson, warned of severe and substantial disruption to religious life, highlighting that over 50% of priests in his diocese are foreign-born. Bishop Mark Sides of El Paso in Texas State stated, quote, "We can't tell a community your priest has to live for a year and then maybe he can come back. That is devastating," end quote. This visa issue affects not only churches but also Catholic schools, hospitals, and charities. In a significant moment for the Korean Christian community, the Korean Bible Society hosted a dedication service and academic symposium on April 8th at the main sanctuary of Yongnak Church in Jangsu, Seoul. The event marked the official celebration of the new Korean Bible, which was released on December 10, 2023.
In a significant moment for the Korean Christian community, the Korean Bible Society hosted a dedication service and academic symposium on April 8th at the main sanctuary of Yongnak Church in Jonggu, Seoul. The event marked the official celebration of the New Korean Bible, which was released on December 10, 2023. The Korean Bible Society is a non-denominational organization committed to translating, publishing, and distributing the Bible in the Korean language, primarily for Protestant Christians in Korea. More than a quarter of the South Korean population identifies as Christian, with approximately 20% belonging to various Protestant denominations, including Presbyterians, Methodists, and Pentecostals, and around 11% identifying as Roman Catholic. This monumental translation project began in 2011 and took 13 years to complete, culminating in the April 8 dedication service at Seoul's historic Yongnak Church. Although the Bible was released in December 2023, this ceremony marked its formal introduction to the Christian community. A total of 36 Bible scholars from various denominations and 3 linguists participated in the translation and review process. Religious leaders and theologians gathered at the event to celebrate what many see as a renewed call to clearly proclaim the Word of God in today's rapidly changing world. The New Korean Bible aims to bridge the gap between the ancient biblical text and 21st century readers. It preserves the original meaning and structure while adapting the language to contemporary Korean grammar and expressions, making it more accessible in today's multimedia-driven society. Reverend Woo Sung Kim, senior pastor of Yongnak Church and leader of the dedication service, emphasized the importance of making the Bible more relatable and accessible to younger generations. He expressed hope that this new translation would reignite the Korean Church's passion for evangelism and engagement with Scripture. Speaking at the symposium, Reverend Kim said, quote, "Even though our nation is in turmoil, God's love for us never ends. Among the many graces God has bestowed on us, one we cannot overlook is that He has given His word to our people. Before the missionaries came to this land, God granted the special grace of having the Bible translated in Manchuria and Japan first, so the missionaries entered with scriptures already in hand. This is a unique grace rarely found in other countries." End quote. Commenting on the distinctiveness of the new translation, Reverend Kim added, quote, "The New Korean Bible translates with clarity. The reader is singular, but those who hear and keep the word are plural. At that time, not everyone possessed a Bible. Someone would read it aloud in the synagogue and the congregation would listen. Thus, it is plural. This translation makes such subtle distinctions easy to understand." End quote. The Korean Bible Society remains committed to its mission of spreading God's Word through faithful translation, broad distribution, and community engagement. With the release of the New Korean Bible, the Society hopes to inspire a new wave of biblical engagement across Korea and beyond. Despite social and cultural challenges, this movement represents a remarkable chapter in Korea's ongoing spiritual journey.
Employees of the Philippine Senate observed the Stations of the Cross inside the Senate building on Monday, April 7th as part of their annual Lenten tradition. Carrying a crucifix, they walked through the GSIS complex with each station thoughtfully prepared with icons and candles. The observance reflects the deeply rooted Catholic faith that continues to shape the public and cultural life in the Philippines.
On Monday, April 7th, employees of the Senate of the Philippines observed the Stations of the Cross inside the Senate building as part of the Lenten tradition. The participants carried a crucifix through the GSIS complex, the Senate's home since 1997. Catholic employees had also prepared each station with icons and candles placed at various locations throughout the building. Photos of the Stations of the Cross were shared on the Senate's official Facebook page, accompanied by a caption that reflected the spiritual significance of the devotion. It read, quote, "The devotion consists of 14 stations, each representing a specific event that took place during Jesus Christ's final hours. This meaningful tradition highlighted the shared commitment of renewal and devotion during the sacred season." End quote. The Philippines, an archipelagic country in Southeast Asia located in the western Pacific Ocean, was a Spanish colony for over 300 years and later a U.S. territory before gaining independence in 1946. 3 centuries of Spanish colonization deeply influenced the nation's religious and cultural identity, making it the only predominantly Christian country in Asia. According to the 2020 census, nearly 4/5 of the population identify as Roman Catholic. Catholic traditions continue to shape Filipino life, from family values and festivals to politics and public holidays.
That's all for today. Until we meet again, God bless and thank you.